Well, good morning, everybody. This is Barry Fair coming up to 6 minutes to wait. Well, today I'd like to talk about using up my leftover food and checking the best before date and the use by date. Now, yesterday we talked about this during our session before we made the butter chicken. Now, how to reduce the food wastage? Well, first you've got to look at the use by date and the best before date. Now, this is important. If you're going to put something in the fridge, okay, label and date it and put what you cook in a container, okay? And make sure you smell the food too, because if it smells off, guys, bin it, because you don't want to get food poisoning, because that's the last thing you want to have happen, okay? Food poisoning is very dangerous, so do not eat something that is off or got bacteria growing there. Okay? Never leave anything out in the sun for too long. Okay? Such as chicken. If you're gonna cook a roast chicken for the Sunday night dinner, okay, don't get the chicken out right and store it on the bench. Okay, put it in the fridge until you are ready to use it. Okay, now cooked chicken. What can you make with it? Well, you can make chicken and avocado wrap, a chicken salad. Okay, you can make up a chicken pie, and you can do all sorts of things with chicken. Now on to the eggs. Like as I said a couple of minutes ago, you can fry your eggs, okay? Make custard, okay? Make curried egg sandwiches for the kids, okay? You can have your eggs for breakfast along with some bacon and sausages, okay? But remember, guys, check the use by date and the best before date. This is very important because you do not want food poisoning. Because, like I've also said, okay, food poisoning can be very dangerous and you could become very sick. The next question I'm going to ask you viewers out there, okay, how can you tell if something is off? Well, the answer is you can tell by the smell, and and if you've opened a bottle of milk and it's past its used by date, guys, bin it. If you drink hot milk, okay, you can become very, very, very sick. Okay? So anything that is off, throw it in the bin. Okay? Never drink or eat anything that may be poisonous. Well, should I say never eat anything that has mold on it or drink something that is off. Okay? because the last thing you want to have happen is food poisoning and you end up somewhere very, excuse me, you end up somewhere very unpleasant. So, be careful with your food and drink, okay? We will continue this discussion this afternoon. And this afternoon, I'm going to be talking about how to avoid food poisoning. Well, the time has just gone 8 o'clock on Friday morning, the 12th day of February 2026. And I will be back with you this afternoon for the second part of this. I'm Barry Fair. You have a great day. It's coming up to 25 minutes to 8 here on Friday evening. Good evening. Barry Fair with you on this Friday night. It's been a while since I've done a video at night with you, but I'm here to tell you the importance of using up the leftover food and not wasting it. You see, there are lots of people out in this world today who are starving. And why? Because they cannot get fresh fruit or vegetables or fresh clean water to drink out of. So we must think about the food that we are wasting and why we are wasting it. And why does food get wasted? Well, I can tell you, because the supermarkets cannot sell it. Well, this was discussed earlier on at the beginning of the Harvest program. But that's not what we're talking about. We are talking about why we should use up the leftover food, okay? We should use up the leftover food because if we don't, it will become stale, off, and moldy, and slimy, you name it, it will go off. So how do we prevent food from going off? Well, we have to look at the use by dates and best before dates, okay, before we open the jar or bottle or container. And how can we tell if the food is off? Well, to tell when food is off, there is a bad smell, okay? So how can you tell when milk is off? Okay, it will be sour and not safe to drink, okay? Because if we eat or drink something that is off, okay, it can make us very sick. Okay, so always be very mindful, guys, about food hygiene and safety. Another thing you should do too is check how long the meat has been sitting in the freezer, okay, or your fridge. Because if you go to open your fridge, guys, okay, and something is off, again, like I said earlier, it is not safe to eat at all. If you know that something is off, please don't use it. If you know that something is out of date, throw it in the bin. Do not eat it. Do not drink it. Perhaps you would like to do some homework with your kids and teach them about food safety. Because, guys, food safety is very, very important. Okay? It really is. So, yeah, if you want to eat the food that, well, yeah, if you don't want food poisoning, then guys, please don't eat it. Food poisoning can be very, very dangerous because if you see something that is off in the fridge, please do bin it. It is not safe to eat. And if you know that the milk is off, guys, please, I'm gonna say it again, bin it. Because off milk, guys, can be very, very unsafe to eat, unsafe to drink, sorry. And also with your eggs too. If they are out of date, please bin them. Okay? Now, very quickly, what can you do with leftovers? Well, you can make up an omelette with the leftovers, have some French toast, fry your eggs, have some curried egg sandwiches, you name it. There are lots of things you can do with leftovers, okay? So use up the leftovers before using the next packet, well, opening the next packet, I should say, and use up the milk that you've opened first. Excuse me. Use up the old milk first before you use the new one. So, guys, enjoy your cooking and remember, use different forks to chop up your food, okay? Because you don't want cross contamination. That's the last thing you need, okay? Be careful. Well, I will be back with you on Thursday to recap all of this. But until then, you have a great weekend. Bye bye.